Director Irwin Allen's been known as the master of disaster because he's made lots of disaster films. Some of his films I have yet to review, but I will sometime, like The Poseidon Adventure and The Towering Inferno. But he did make a ton of misses in the late 70s into the early 80s, starting with this one flick, The Swarm. Is it really one of the worst films of all time? Find out right now in this review. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Joel, better known to you as the Big D. And this time around I bring to you a review of the 1978 disaster horror flick, The Swarm, released by Warner Bros., directed and produced by Irwin Allen, who of course recently gave us The Poseidon Adventure and The Towering Inferno, adapted from the novel of the same name by Arthur Herzog. Now the film has been considered one of the worst movies ever made, and well, I actually do agree, though I've seen it a few times, but not all the time. So this isn't factually a guilty pleasure or what have you, so though the film does have a pretty good all-star cast that includes Sir Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Widmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Ben Johnson, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Patty Duke, well, when she was credited as Patty Duke Aston, Slim Pickens, Bradford Dillman, Fred MacMurray in his final film performance, and Henry Fonda. Anyway, well, I'm not going to give the whole story away because there's a lot to explain. In the film, we focus on an entomologist named Dr. Bradford Crane and a group of soldiers teaming up to stop a huge swarm of killer bees from reaching and destroying their city with venom around the state of Texas. Anyway, the film was heavily dissed and what have you, and was a major dud at the box office, where it failed to only make $7 million. Unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, I do agree it's not really one of the best. Yeah, I will say that this film is just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Now, there is some good stuff about this. The film has a pretty good score done by one of my absolute favorite composers, Jerry Goldsmith, who that same year would also do the score for the second installment of the Omen franchise, Damien Omen 2, which of course Lee Grant also appeared in, as a matter of fact. But of course, this would be the second disaster film she'd be in. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry about that. Because a year before this, Grant was in the underrated but still a success Airport 77. But anyway, well, Major Baker and a group of soldiers are ordered to investigate a basement level station which they believe was attacked. And well, after Baker contacts his commander, General Slayer, they begin to investigate who drove a civilian van into the base. It is revealed to be owned by a scientist named Dr. Bradford Crane, the only survivor of the attack. And Slayer orders 2 helicopters to check for a black mass, which is revealed to be bees. But they are swarmed by them and killing the pilots inside. Yeah. Helena Anderson, one of the base's doctors, supports Crane's story. All that stuff. But I gotta tell you, once this happens, boy, it really gets intense and what have you. Well, I appreciate this being like a actual kind of creature feature, considering it's bees and what have you. I just gotta say, it's just so, I don't know. But they do what they can to get rid of everything. I mean, the bees attack everything. A family, a group of kids at a at a school, and even the people on a train. Even I gotta tell you, that's pretty intense. Now, the film was originally less than 2 hours of its release, only 116 minutes. However, later in 1992, when it was released on Laserdisc, which this was still before DVD ever came along, Warner Bros. Actually released a special extended release, which added 40 more minutes of additional footage not shown in this, as a matter of fact. Let me see here. Yes. Which I believe that's the version I've actually seen, because I've seen this film on Encore, and I have seen it on Turner Classic Movies as well. Anyway, now later on, when the film got released on DVD in 2002, but then it was reissued for about years later in 2016 from the Warner Archive, they actually include the actual extended version. So it'd be very tough to find the theatrical cut unless you get on video cassette, which good luck on finding that. 2.5 years later after it was released on DVD, a Blu-ray would follow, again through the Warner Archive, and it would also contain the extended version, plus a 22-minute making-of documentary called Inside the Swarm. So anyway, yeah. Now, Michael Caine, I will say, was good in ways as Dr. Crane. Now, although Caine's usually isn't usually too thrilled with some of his roles and what have you, some of his early roles and what have you, but, well, I can't be too hard on it. And Catherine Ross as Helena Anderson, Richard Widmark as General Slater. Yeah, they were pretty good and what have you. But anyway, but even with a big all-star cast, I'd say I didn't recommend this one unless you're a die-hard fanatic of creature features. Well, and killer bees are considered to be maybe insects, but are creatures in ways. But anyway, this is a disaster horror flick. It's not really the best, and well, even after this, Alan did make 2 other films, but they were even bigger disappointments. Starting with Beyond, which he continued with Beyond the Poseidon Adventure, and When Time Ran Out, which I've never seen either of those. I don't think I want to see Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. When Time Ran Out, I could give it one shot, but we'll see. But however, I'd much rather stick with his old school stuff like the Poseidon Adventure or even the Towering Inferno. So I'd say avoid this at all costs and what have you. So this isn't really much of a recommendation, though the cast in this is kind of hit or miss and what have you. The story is 50-50 as well, here or miss. Irwin Allen's directing wasn't too bad, but the only thing that really saves this film is Jerry Goldsmith's score, and I gotta say it's pretty good actually. You gotta hear that score. You gotta hear the score, and maybe it might convince you to give this movie one view. And if you're not satisfied, well, I can't really say I didn't warn you or try. But if you have seen The Swarm, please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you my next Thrill Me Thursday contribution. Yes, you heard me correctly. I've announced that I'm going to do the Thrill Me Thursday contribution for this week, 1989 horror, and it's actually going to be my good friend Drew from Hazen at the Von Graham's birthday coming up tomorrow, so be on the lookout for it to premiere. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out some of these other big duds of flicks and what have you. In the upper left hand corner is my review of Dudley Do-Right with Brendan Fraser, based on the cartoon character. Another cartoon-based character turned movie is Mr. Magoo with Leslie Nielsen, the upper right-hand corner. Or if you want, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of another dud, that being Josie and the Pussycats, which recently celebrated its 20th anniversary not so long ago this month. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.